All right, let's dive in. Today, we're exploring three absolutely incredible maps that are completely flipping the script on how we think about aging and how, maybe, just maybe, we're learning to rewrite the very code of life itself. And we're going to start with this quote from longevity researcher David Sinclair because it really sets the stage for everything. Just think about this for a second. What if aging isn't our bodies breaking down for good? What if it's not permanent damage, but just corrupted software? A system that just needs a reboot. That idea, it changes everything. So that brings us to our first map, the software reboot. This is the cutting-edge science, the information theory of aging, and it completely reframes the whole problem. It's not about your body wearing out like an old car. No, it's about your body losing the information it needs to stay young. Okay, so to really get this, think of your body like a computer. The hardware, that's your genome, your DNA. It's the stable digital code. It's incredibly robust. But the software, that's your epigenome. It's the program that reads the DNA and tells your cells what to be. A skin cell, a heart cell, a brain cell. And that software, well, it's analog, and over time it gets buggy, it gets noisy. But here's the kicker. Software can be rebooted. This software corruption has a name: epigenetic noise. Here's what happens. Every single day, your DNA gets damaged. Little breaks happen all the time, and you have these amazing repair crews, proteins, that rush in to fix the damage. But here's the problem. After they're done, they don't always go back to exactly where they started. It's like a symphony where the musicians start to drift from their seats. Over decades, this creates noise, and the cells, they start to forget their original jobs. They forget how to be young. Now, you might be thinking, okay, that's a cool theory, but is it real? Well, get this. It's not just a theory anymore. Scientists have put it to the test. They actually reversed aging in mice. They took old mice, reset the epigenetic instructions in their cells, and saw age-related decline reverse. They even restored sight to old blind mice by rebooting the age of the cells in their eyes. Just wow. And it gets even crazier. A recent study took mice that were basically the human equivalent of 80 years old and gave them a single epigenetic reboot treatment. The result? They increased their median remaining lifespan by 109%. They didn't just live a little longer, they more than doubled the time they had left. That's not just slowing aging, that is reversal. Okay, so a full-on epigenetic reboot for you and me is probably still a little ways off. So what can we do right now? That brings us to our second map, the practical toolkit. Knowing what we know about aging as an information problem, how can we start optimizing our own software today with tools that are available to pretty much everyone? Well, here's a great place to start. This is a protocol from a 2021 clinical trial, and it's all about using simple inputs to talk to our epigenome. You've got diet, exercise, sleep, and relaxation. But don't think of these as just healthy habits. Think of them as direct instructions, information that you're feeding your body's software every single day.
So, did it work? You bet it did. On average, the people in that trial lowered their biological age by over 3 years. Let that sink in. In just 8 weeks, using nothing more than diet and lifestyle changes, they made their bodies measurably younger. This is incredible proof that our biological age isn't set in stone. It's something we can actually influence.
And I think what's so important about this second map is the honesty. This isn't about selling you a magic pill or promising you'll live forever. It's about giving you the tools, the open source toolkit, to get data about your own body and make measurable improvements. It's about empowerment. It's about optimizing your health right here, right now. All right, for our third and final map, we're going to take a bit of a leap. We're moving from the lab bench into a more conceptual framework. This map looks at the body not as a computer, but as a finely tuned instrument, and it expands the idea of information into the world of energy and frequency. So this framework starts by drawing a line in the sand between two ways of thinking. You have the conventional paradigm, which often focuses on suppressing symptoms, using a chemical to block a process. Then you have this integrative paradigm, which is all about restoring function by giving the body the right information to support its own natural ability to heal. And this quote really gets to the heart of it. The idea here is that your body is this incredibly intelligent, self-healing system. So healing isn't about going in and fixing broken parts like a mechanic. It's about providing the right information so the body's own intelligence can do the work and bring itself back into balance. So what kind of information are we talking about here? Well, this map proposes that life, at its core, is electromagnetic.
It points out that every one of your cells has an electrical charge. Your heart generates a powerful electromagnetic field that we can measure from several feet away. The idea is that if the body is an electromagnetic instrument, then it operates on and responds to frequency.
So if the body is an instrument, the thinking goes, maybe you can use specific frequencies to tune it back to health. Now, it's really important to draw a distinction here. Some of these ideas, like using 40 Hz sound and light to help clear amyloid plaques, are being actively researched in serious academic settings for Alzheimer's. Others, like 528 Hz for DNA repair, are, much more speculative and sit outside the scientific mainstream for now. So, we've journeyed through 3 very different maps, right? We had high-tech gene therapy, a down-to-earth lifestyle plan, and a kind of holistic vibrational framework. They feel like they're from different worlds, but what if they're all pointing to the same massive shift in thinking? What if there's one powerful thread that ties them all together?
And here it is, the big idea. This is a revolution in how we see ourselves. All 3 of these maps stop treating the body like a dumb machine made of parts that break. Instead, they see it as a complex informational system that we can learn to communicate with. For Map 1, the body is epigenetic software. For Map 2, it's a measurable data set. And for Map 3, it's an electromagnetic instrument. The common language is information.
We're just beginning to understand that our health is a story written in multiple languages: the language of genes, the language of biochemistry, and maybe even the language of energy. And that leaves us with a pretty profound question to ponder. As we get better and better at rewriting the information of life, which of these languages will we ultimately choose to speak?